disruption caused by the pandemic has necessitated global lockdown measures, which in turn impacted global advertising spend and made brands' purpose and value more important than ever. According to the World Federation of Advertisers, 21% of the world's biggest advertisers significantly reduced their marketing budgets at the height of the crisis in April. As lockdown measures were slammed on regional and global economies, regional brands such as airlines, hotels, restaurants, retail and automotive adjusted their marketing and communications budget by the greatest degree. In contrast, fast-moving consumer goods, brand giants like Unilever and Procter & Gamble, amongst others, ramped up their marketing budgets amid increased demand. Recently, P&G reported an annual revenue of $71 billion with a profit of $13 billion, ascribing the boost to increased demand for cleaning products during the coronavirus crisis, coupled with a ramp-up market strategy. This strategy was in contrast to the likes of Coca-Cola, which paused all marketing spends and has experienced a 25% fall in sales volume during the period in review. The global pandemic has equally seen creativity and innovation in brand storytelling. From a brand and communications perspective, the pandemic has presented brands with a key responsibility to play a more purposeful role. At the moment, the world is seeing some of the stringent lockdown measures relaxed, but the easing of the measures has not equated to an automatic return to pre-pandemic normality. The global economy and markets are still shrouded in recessionary conditions. In the end, a global crisis can either paralyze the marketing team or galvanize it to triumph over adversity. Regardless of how long the crisis actually lasts, COVID-19 will forever change the marketing landscape. At the end of the storm, companies can go back to their old playbooks. Their messaging and brand strategy may need to significantly evolve from the realities of the post-COVID-19 world. Marketers enabling themselves to really understand the new normal based on timely insights is key to navigating their ways through the crisis, both for their marketing teams and their companies. Now, that was Brand in Focus. Now, next is our interview segment, and I have the Acting Registrar and Chief Executive of Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, that's APCON, Mrs. Ijedi Iyoa. Enjoy the interview. Thank you very much for joining us on the interview segment of Marketing Edge on TV. Today, I'm privileged to have in the house the Acting Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON. That's Mrs. Ijedi Iyoa. Thank you very much for your time. First, I'm going to ask you to assess the economy, especially with the background of COVID-19, the lockdowns and all of that. What's your assessment of the Nigerian economy?
Yeah, the COVID-19 is something that we didn't actually plan for. We didn't prepare for it. It just came unexpectedly. And since it's here to stay with us, as far as I'm concerned, it only takes time to ease off. It has affected negatively on the economy. Because before now, we are really relying more on the oil. And because of the COVID, the price of the oil now crashed. And so it affected the spending budget of the economy. People no longer spend luxuriously the way they wanted to. And the government on its own part is even finding it difficult to cope with the challenges because most of the sectors are locked down. Talk of the entertainment industry, the creative industry, tourism, the health sectors, they are all affected. And those areas that are used to generate income for the economy are equally affected, and it has not been easy.
My next question is going to be now focused on the Nigerian integrated marketing communications sector itself. What's the effect on that section, and what do you think moving forward will be the position of that sector post-COVID?
The way it affected other sectors is also the way it affected the marketing communication industry. The advertisers are cutting down on budgets. The agencies are not being able to cope. Even the media houses, they are not even finding enough fund to manage their media houses. I understand that some people are even laying off. So it's actually affecting that sector as well. But what they do now, they have decided to look inward for an alternative means of survival. They look at the outdoor industry, for instance. They devised a means of, instead of encouraging people to go for the electronic media, which is a huge sum to acquire, they are now looking at the other platforms, like the 48 sheets board, the 35 and all that, just to make it easier for people to still be in business. Outside that, it's just something else for the advertising sector. But they are doing their best, trying to survive, looking inwards, online businesses, diverting. Before then, yes, we have the online business on, but it's not as pronounced as it is right now.
Now, do you envisage challenges with regards to regulation, practice, and all of that post-COVID-19?
Yes, COVID-19, yeah, to some extent, I would say yes. For the practice, practitioners are doing their best. I mean, you cannot take that from them. They are professionals, so they know what to do. But for regulation, we try as much as possible to enforce the ones available for us. Because most people now, they are hiding under this corporate social responsibility, goodwills, which we don't regulate. So they just, in a subtle way, they put their products there. So, but if we notice that they're emphasizing more on their services and their products, we don't usually give approval. But if you are supporting the COVID-19, yes, we allow you to do that.
All right, man, let's also talk about what the agencies should be doing. We've talked about what the brands should do. What about agencies? What should they do at this very critical time? Talking about COVID-19 and what it has done to the advertising industry.
Yeah, it's very sensitive for them. Most of them are working from home, which means cost of operation should be reduced. They should also do more of online businesses, telling their clients where they should be more visible, and partner with others as well. There might be need for collaboration. If you can't handle it alone, you collaborate with another agency.
Now, in real terms, do you emphasize that things will come to normalcy maybe after recession, which federal government has said we will definitely move into? Do you see normalcy back into the entire space?
Yes. Though it will take time, but we will still come back to where we are.
Now, I'm also worried about something, thinking about this new normal. Do you see it as a threat to traditional advertising?
No, I won't say it's a threat. I will say they complement each other. The traditional advertising will not be there. You can't say that because of new normal, you can't advertise on radio, you can't advertise on TV, on billboards, on the print media. They will always be there for you. They too have their own role to play. Then for the online, yes, they are also there. They are also playing a vital role. So it's not really a threat. I would say they complement one another.
Now tell us what APCON is doing to monitor social media, advertising and all of that. Tell us.
Yeah, you know that right now we don't have a constituted council. The one we had before was dissolved about 6 years ago. The point we are about regulating the social media, we're trying to come up with a kind of legal and administrative framework that will guide us in regulating the social media. And that was the period the council was dissolved. So since then, we've not been able to put in place a structure that will guide us to do that. But what we do is, I think only last year, we sent out messages to so many clients, platforms, media houses, that going forward, we want to start regulating the social media. And there was this huge cry out that we want to strangulate the SMEs, which is not true. There are some multinationals that do businesses online. It's not only the SMEs. So for such people that we believe they know the right thing to do, before you expose anything, you bring it to APCON. But because you know our presence is not that felt online, we decide to go online. So when we see it, we come after them and regulate them. But for the SMEs, we only try to educate them, for them to know the importance of forwarding their material for clearance before it can be exposed. So we are doing the much we can in that sector, praying that we will have a council, all other frameworks will be there.
Now, I want to know in specific ways what APCON has done to support the fight against this dreaded virus, COVID-19. Tell us what you've done. I'm sure you've supported government one way or the other.
The only thing we've done is trying to sensitize the public through educating them. We've organized series of webinars talking about the effect of COVID on businesses, how it should be handled and all that. We've really done that. We've also reached out to some people that find it difficult to come to our office for transactions. We now tell them, instead of coming, why not go online? Let's do the transaction online. So it saves you the cost and the stress of doing what you used to do before.
It's worrisome, but do you see growth when it comes to revenue in the year 2020?
Yeah, I will agree that it's a year of survival. This 2020, the growth will be minimal. Because if you look at from March to June, July, nothing much was done. Nothing really much. The economy is starting to ease off, and people are just starting to get used to how they used to do business before.
What do you think about consumers' attitude even after this exercise, after COVID? Do you see the appetite coming as well as it used to be before COVID-19 came?
No, it will be eliminated. Right now, consumers, what they're interested in is the leads. All those luxury lives, I think, must have reduced. I even had a discussion with somebody who said, I didn't know there are some interesting places in Nigeria I can take my children out for vacation. He's somebody that for the past 6 years I've known him, he's been traveling out of the country. But this time he's thinking inwards. Instead of going out of the country when I don't even have the money, we could just go to anywhere in this country and still achieve the same purpose.
Well, with that is a wrap up Marketing Edge on TV for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. But until then, continue to stay safe. Bye for now.
In this month of August, 23rd, Day of Remembrance of the Slave Trade and its Abolition. 26th, General Ibrahim Babangida stepped aside as military president. Ernest Shonekan assumed office as head of the interim national government. Terrorists bombed the United Nations building in Abuja. Stay with TVC News for special reports and in-depth analysis of these days. Only on TVC News.
As I bring the news from the epicenter, where it happens and when it happens, staying on top of every breaking story, minute by minute, right at the hour when the city gets busy and just before it sleeps. We're live from every angle with objective insight and analysis. TVC News, first the breaking news.